Hey guys, this is Code. This is the first try at commentating over a VOD of mine playing Heroes of the Storm. So before we get stuck in, not a high level player. I believe this was at rank 33. This is one of my first Zagara games. Uh, One of the first things I do here is pick the talent that increases my roach health, or actually makes them take less damage, because I'm intending to solo the bot lane and push. Um, right here, I'm talking to the team, trying to organise that I'll open with the Maw so that we can stack damage. My plan with this commentary is to sort of review the game I played, talk about a few things I did, and then I guess look back at it in a week or a month or a year and see how much I've grown. I'm not sure about dropping these creep tumors back here. I think you don't really lose much. Essentially, the cooldown's back up and the mana cost doesn't matter. That one just in front of the gate is useful. I'm planning on taking the health regeneration talent, which allows me to... Sorry, the one that is actually an active ability, and it gives you a good little heal over time. So that way I've got it on the other side of the gate. So plan here is to try and bully the lane as much as I can, push up as much as I can, and maintain heaps of vision. I want to have vision on the boss. I see Zeratul there on the left, but a bit late. Almost get killed here, 12 hit points, but you know, not good enough. Zeratul's cleave is taking out my creep tumors as well, which is frustrating, but something you've got to deal with. You'll notice I don't use Q very much. I find Zagara is very mana intensive, especially in the early laning phase. So I try to stick to just my auto attacks and my E's, with W's to bully heroes. So here the temple activates, and I hadn't discussed with my team whether I'd be soaking or going, so I wasn't really sure what to do. I know that soaking is correct, but I decided to let them know that I'm just going to soak instead. It's difficult for the enemy team to contest both objectives here, so I didn't think we'd be giving up too much, and the XP lead that we gain from the soak is worth it. I had planned to rotate up to mid, but as you can see, ETC is sticking there. So this was a solo queue match. No one in here is anyone I know of I've played with before. So let ETC know he can head up to top. I take Envenom Spines. I just think it's a fantastic talent. That extra range and damage matters so much mid to late game. So I rotate up here. It's an opportunity for me to place some tumors for vision. Meanwhile soaking. Feel like I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I was worried about a rotate down, so I use the Q just to clear it out a bit quicker. As you can see, Vala and Hammer come. Vala's halving. Stitches really had a great opportunity to hook me in there, and missed it. I don't think they could have got the kill, but it was interesting. Hammer's taking residence up in the bushes over there. It's a bit frustrating, but Hammer's actually quite easy to bully off. You'll see me dueling Hammer a fair bit in this game. So as you can see, I haven't made much of an impact on the lane. I haven't really passed them the midway point yet. Haven't drained their towers or anything like that, but it's about to change pretty dramatically. Second tower phase on Sky Temple's always on the bot, so I'm just placing some extra vision here. Zeratul's on the left. I do a very, very poor attempt to get him out, but once again, just not good enough. The extra movement speed on the creep really helping me out. So here I take Rapid Incubation, which is the talent I was alluding to before, with the active button to regenerate health. There's a lot of good options in that tier, but I figured I'd be soloing here a fair bit. So now they've got no one in the lane other than this Zeratul. But as you can see, both he and Hammer are right there, right nearby, so the push is coming, but it's not as simple as it could otherwise be. Zeratil's down there. Stitches hooks me in, but he's got absolutely no follow-up. Just a waste, really. Whole team rotates down for the temple. So in about 4 seconds, we've got good vision there from my creep tumours. Dropped roaches over the gap there, which was pretty nice. I'll be doing that more in future. We chase them off. It's really not much to say. With Kael'thas and Reyna, we've got a lot of damage here. And not able really to cope. Bit of a noob there. Got hit by the stun. Rapid incubation's good. So at this point, the enemy's not really visible. I'd assumed they were going for camps. If I recall correctly, they didn't. And as you can see, the extra soak that we've got has only got us a level lead here, which doesn't really matter 8 to 9, but of course when we hit 10 with a level lead, it's going to be a massive advantage. And it'll likely come during the next temple phase. So here the team rotates off, which is absolutely fine. I see Zeratil there, but a really bad Q from me. Miss everything. Kael'thas sees him, comes back, and we just bully them off. So here I'm just re-establishing control of bot lane. You can see that they've pushed me all the way back off, but it doesn't take long. Hammer thought he had really good position, especially with Uther, but they just can't cope with Zagara. It's all about using that extended range, and now that we've hit 10, we've got a level lead to varying more. The only heroic worth taking, of course. It's just so good. Zagara is very useless in a team fight early game, but as soon as she hits 10, devouring more, she becomes so critical. And it's about here where that was a big mistake. Rapid incubation on the wrong side of my gate. That was very stupid. But a good learning opportunity for me there. Concerned about boss here. I'm not sure why the team rotated down, to be honest, but I welcome it. That Maw was not great, but it did isolate Hammer. But it was still a pretty terrible Maw. Able just to pump the damage in here. Trying to body block as much as I can, but ultimately not a smart move on Zagara. So 2 for 1'd him there ultimately, and we're going to have control of the bottom temple. I decide that I'll head to top. Reyna's making his way there as fast as he can. So I changed my mind. Let my team know that I'll be heading bot. Ping Hammer, let them know. They just outrange him, which is smart. ETC gets in there and gets behind. Hammer runs away. He'll be back. So I take this opportunity just to drop some vision. Help my teammates clean up. Pretty easy, really. As you can see, we're getting pushed in at the top. 4 to 1. Well, it was actually 4 to 2, but ran a bit the dust. Here we 3-man boss. I think this is really risky, but with Hammer at the top as well, we know we've got a little bit of time. We just don't have the damage to kill him quick enough. I think this was extremely risky. I'm worried about the back door, but I've got a little bit of vision here. Popping everything I've got just to try and do as much DPS as I can. I know that Maw's off cooldown, so I'm ready to pop that if they come around the right hand side. We cap it, and pretty much just in time. Or I'm mistaken because they're still at the top. They've grabbed a bruiser camp, which is not quite as good as a boss. I decide to push here. Let the team do what they're going to do. I get to spread some creep tumors around in opportune locations. We're taking the bruiser camp up here as well, sorry, the siege camp. So we might get a double push. You can see the Vala and Stitches are fighting boss. Team decides to push, and we head over the Bridge of Death. Me first, which is not smart at all. Not punished for that, which is lucky. ETC gets a decent stun off, gets Stitches, we get a Phoenix on it. I'm more on Sergeant Hammer, which just ensures a kill. Obviously I wanted more than that, but we'll take it. They're down 3 at this point. We're just going to start pushing the keep in. At this point we've got a level and a half lead. They hit 13. We've still got the talent advantage. It's looking pretty good. Want to get this keep and then get out, but we do have 2 sets of siege giants, and I still think it's smart to retreat here. The bruiser camp who've successfully knocked down our Fort North, and moving on to the keep. I cancel my hearth here and decide to get bottom fort. I was pretty worried. I saw Stitches and Uther in mid, but I know that they've still got, you know, Vala, Sergeant Hammer, and Zeratul. So I tried to keep an eye out here for any kind of shimmer. I'm not that great at seeing Zeratul yet. But I noticed Vala was in mid, and I thought, well, I'm either going to see Sergeant Hammer or Zeratul come down. My plan was to get as much damage as I could done here. I take the Mutalisk talent, which I think is really good, especially when you get double charge. There is the Hunter Killer one that gives it extra range and damage, which I've played with as well, I quite like. Rapid incubation here is good. I'm doing enough DPS to get those 3 down. Now I see Sergeant Hammer at the top, and he thinks that he's going to do something useful here, and as you can see, he doesn't. 2 charges of Mutalisk, the Roaches, and my enhanced basic attack, and I think he came in at 2/3 health, so Zagara is pretty much a beast, early game and mid game, and then late game she's just a platform for more, most people think anyway. Get congratulated by my team. It's nice to see some positive feedback in the Hero League solo queue. Usually you get called all sorts of things, none of them nice. We're in a very strong position at this point, you know, a 3-level lead. We've won every team fight. I would say our ultis are better than theirs if we ever synchronize, which is difficult to do at rank 33 on Hero League, but you know, if we ever more into ETC stun, into Phoenix, into Hyperion, into you know, whatever else, we're just going to wipe their team. So all in all, it's a pretty easy win. At least it looks like it at this point. The fight's been mainly over bot, but as you can see, we've destroyed their middle temple. We've got a bruiser camp hitting north as well. Zeratul comes in here and overextends a little bit. Reyna flanks Hammer, and we push them off. We've now got the whole group and siege camp, so we're looking to push in bot again. Bruiser camps are going to fight over tot, but I think at this point we're just ready to end the game. We have a massive lead in terms of level. They haven't hit the 17s yet, so it's time to go. As you can see, I go in alone because the team is just waiting for ETC, who's nowhere nearby. Zeratul goes for the kill. I have to more defensively. It's good enough with support from Lily there. And yeah, so Zagara playing Initiator and Warrior there. Be interesting. And then, as is our want, we just end up pushing their shit in for the next 30 seconds or so. And it's GG. So ultimately, the reason I shared this game is I think it's a decent Zagara game from me, but there's a lot to improve upon. I don't think I pushed hard enough at all in the early game. I think my general play was fine. Like here, just auto-attacking core because I don't care. General play was fine. Awareness was okay. I think I had a pretty easy go of it as well. So I think this will be really, really useful to watch back later. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.